What did we say that if it was an ideal situation for India, they should have not lost more than 1 wicket, right?
Well, in an ideal situation, even Jadeja should have played.
Well, that is not the situation
But
that
nothing's been happening, na? Nothing ideal's been happening this whole day.
Nothing ideal's happened in 2023, if you have to look at it, because
Barring Asia Cup.
barring Asia Cup, because you lost 4 wickets for the addition of 85 runs. Kagiso Rabada, 5 wickets for 41, a brilliant spell from him. I mean, he was the one who blew the entire game wide open. And remember, I think all the 4 wickets, I think he only took in the session, if I'm not mistaken.
Also put it this way, when we were talking about vital half an hour, your first 3 wickets fell within 25 minutes of the restart.
Exactly.
So it's always that early burst that tends to get you.
I told you, some things in Test cricket never change, and that is the situation. So see, first over.
You spell it out now.
Yeah.
The one thing that doesn't change.
Crucial 30 minutes in each session. Start. Now, first over itself, Shreyas Iyer went to an absolute beauty from.
I would say it was a beauty. I would say
It came back in late.
came back in, but I don't think that did him in as much as the lack of bounce did.
Yes.
I think he played for the swing. He realized it swung, but it's still low.
He was also late to react. Yes, the ball didn't bounce enough, but the fact that he didn't read the swing, he was late to get to it or respond to it. Number one. Number two, yes, it was good ball in the sense that, yes, some bit of luck is
in that area,
for, it, by the way, pitched on exactly that spot where you were using that hair dryer. That's what the commentators pointed out. This is just a small patch. It's probably the size of your palm where this hair dryer was being used, and the ball pitched close to that area.
And you know what is going to be the major problem? Later on, if the sun is there beating down the pitch and everything and all that, it will lead to divots. It should give uneven bounce later on also. But the ball of the session, I mean, if you have to look at it, it needed something special to get rid of King Kohli, and Rabada did it. Just angling in outside off stump, swinging away late. You couldn't leave it, you had to play it. Kohli poked at it, and
I think that was the ball of the session. And in fact, that was the one, to an extent, I'll give it to Shreyas as well, where, the batters didn't really throw their wickets away.
Yeah.
they didn't.
Otherwise, beyond that, if you look at even
Ashwin also got a good delivery.
Shot, but careless shot. He picked
no.
out the fielder.
But
that you're about Thakur. Ashwin, what happened was a shot delivered weird.
It was actually not that short. If you see again, pitched in good length. You thought earlier. In fact, the first time that I saw it real time, I was like, okay, it's taken the shoulder of the bat. But it wasn't the shoulder; it was much above that. It was in fact more of the handle and bottom hand.
Hey, I mixed
it
up with
that was just too much bounce for Ashwin to adjust to. But let's just spend some time talking about that Virat Kohli dismissal, because again, you look at the build up to that particular delivery. All balls either just angling in, staying with the line, or just straightening. None of them had gone away from Virat Kohli. The one ball pitched right in the good length area, invited the batsman. As you said, Siddharth, as a batter, no option but to have a go at it, and then the ball just had it sort of held its line, Virat Kohli would have been safe. But just an absolute peach of a delivery by Rabada, and maybe that's again Virat will just be like, okay, you got me off a good ball, and there's not much I could have rather done about it, because absolute peach.
Absolute peach. I mean, see, I can understand if Kohli was chasing after the delivery. Here, no chasing. If a batsman sees a ball angling in, your first instinct is you have to play at it. But if it swings, if it swings away late, gone. That's the situation.
And that's what happened. And I think again, even the movement was very subtle in the sense that at first look, I thought it nearly straightened, but the way it moved, there was a subtle bit of outswing, and the angle itself was what did him. Because again, it's coming at your stumps. Instinctively, your first reaction is, I need to save my stumps.
Yeah. So it's coming here. Say, for example, this is the stump right here. Okay. Oops, 1 second.
Don't ruin your mic.
Yeah. So if it's coming here, okay, then first
no one
instinct.
can see you, by the way.
Okay. So okay, this is if I'm taking an off stump kind of a thing. If it comes here, then you have to defend. But what happened? It just went away.
Exactly.
In the air, not of the wicket.
And that was what did him in. So that was why I think that was the one wicket that, you could say precious little could be done about.
Yeah.
Shreyas and Ashwin probably
Ashwin,
being the
yeah.
other ones that were honorary mentions. Good balls.
Good balls, and if you look at it in these overcast conditions and with the pitch now starting to show its colors, you saw a lot more bouncers being employed. You had, I think, one concussion test for Shardul. Then he got hit on the bowling arm. I hope that is not going to trouble him a lot more, because I think there was a bit of bandage in that area.
They got some, I don't know about bandage, but they definitely got the ice packs out.
See, it didn't look good. Why can't they have a forearm guard?
Yeah, they'll just cover the entire body in guards at that point.
Again, also choice. Remember, choice of the batter.
Yep. So, but then remember, after that, he got hit on the arm. He popped the catch straight to Elgar. So that's why I think that short ball barrage really did him in, and because of that, you lost 4 wickets for 85, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think it was 87.
85.
So now the remaining 3 wickets, how much more can KL Rahul go on? Remember, KL Rahul has batted very well. Let us be very clear about that. His first introduction after maybe 10 months of Test cricket, first introduction.
More than that.
March.
Really?
No,
February.
he played those couple of matches, no?
February, March.
So yeah, 9
Yeah, February.
9 months later.
Yeah.
And on a pitch, and I think KL Rahul tends to enjoy Centurion because he scored a century here the last time.
Yes.
Now he scored a very gritty 39. But maybe if India can get past 200 or somewhere in the range of 230, 240, I think it will be a good total. Because if the South African pacers are getting this much help, the Indian pacers also are no pushovers in that sense.
I agree, but again, Siddharth, for India to have a sniff over here, and stay relevant in this match, let's say, you need, first things first, is that you need a target, or you need a first innings total which is a little over 200 at least, because you need to give bowlers something to bowl at, as they say. Secondly, yes, I agree with you, given the two-pace nature of this wicket that we saw in the second innings particularly, where yes, the bouncers could be deployed, this occasional ball staying low as well. So considering all of that, you would like to give the Indian bowlers a chance as well, especially somebody like a Bumrah would really be licking his lips right now. Even Prasidh, he could be that surprise package. Nobody's seen any of him. He's after all making his test debut today. So who's to say that he could not be that game changer for India? But there is something to look at over here. But again, you need that psychologically to be there in the match. You need above 200.
200 you have to be there. And remember, this kind of a scenario, if you look at it, where there is excess seam movement, there is a bit of a bounce in that. It reminds me of Johannesburg, 2006 and 18 to a certain extent, where India gutsed it out. And after that, if you look at it, the bowlers came to the party. Which is why I think a 200-240 total in that range should work for India. I think even the South African batsmen will struggle, because apart from Elgar, apart from Keegan, who've got an experience of playing the Indian bowlers, I mean, Tony De Zorzi, I don't know whether in Test cricket he did handle the white ball series pretty well. But as far as Test cricket is concerned, Markram again in Test cricket
is hit or miss.
Is hit or miss a lot of times. We don't know about Verreynne, we don't know what about it. Beddington, I don't know whether he can step up to the mark. Debut test pressure against this quality bowling attacks.
And remember, potentially could be without Temba.
Temba, yes. So the latest update on Temba Bavuma is that it is a hamstring strain. It isn't a tear. So he is going to undergo daily assessment. He is going to have daily treatment, daily assessment. Only then he will determine whether he can bat. He's definitely not going to field. Whether he can come out to bat. That the South African medical team will do it. It is luckily not a tear, it is a sprain. So Temba Bavuma will hold the key. If things get a little iffy for South Africa, I think he will have to come out.
But again, what that injury does is it sort of throws that batting order over.
Oh, it does.
It does.
Because Temba would have been there, number 4 if I'm not mistaken? 3 or 4?
3. Because Keegan comes in at 3 if I'm not mistaken. Keegan at 3. Temba at 4. Markram at 5. That's the situation. So, you got 2 left-handers in Tony De Zorzi and Dean Elgar. So, even an Ashwin against the left-handers could actually do it. And remember, Ashwin's got a very good record against Dean Elgar. So, that's why that will be a very, very problematic situation then for South Africa. So, 200, 240 I think should be good for India to ensure that They have a psychological hold. I think South Africa are batting tonight. I think they will bat tonight.
At some point, yeah. Because again, you've got a crucial half hour coming up.
Will always. And look at it. After the first hour ended, first half an hour, 45 minutes ended, batting became easier.
Yes.
Always in Sena countries.
One thing, let's not forget what happened after lunch also was that the clouds had returned. Remember, it got dark, so I'm guessing it's those aerial conditions as well. The change in those aerial conditions also played a role, and as it did turn out to be, did assist the fast bowlers as well.
Only one wicket aided in the changing of the conditions overhead. That was Kohli.
Kohli.
Swing in the air.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, Shreyas came off the wicket, Ashwin was off the wicket, Shardul threw his wicket away.
But again, had those early jitters not happened, then maybe you wouldn't have looked at such a scenario.
Exactly.
Had conditions become easy for Virat Kohli, and had they remained, let's say, the way that they were at the close of the first session, maybe we would have been having a different discussion altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned about KL Rahul. You just want to spend some time talking about him. Think he looks in good control. Couple of those drives through the offside tell you that, again, if there's any width on offer, he's going to be taking his chances and he's going to be going for his shots, even though there is, of course, scoreboard worry for India at the moment. But KL Rahul has looked good. I don't think he's given away any chances, no half chances also as far as KL Rahul is concerned. For India to be having a chance and stay in this contest, let's say, he holds the key.
He really does hold the key. So yeah, I mean, see, the South African batting, as you say, might go, or maybe Markram will open. Markram will have to open then. Markram has opened in the past and he is traditionally an opener. So let's see. Tony De Zorzi then comes in at 3. Temba will then have to just do it in that sense. So let's take some questions because I think we're only 4 minutes away from the restart. And remember, this session you will play from 7 to 9, but then if you don't get the overs in on time, which I don't think so, 40 overs, I don't know how on earth you're going to fit in those 2 hours. South Africa.
You're right, there's actually 10, there's a lot of overs. Little bit of concession can be given for the concussion checks. But beyond that, I think, South Africa's over rate
maybe you can take about 3-4 overs into consideration given
30 minutes of extension. But remember, why I'm saying an over rate will be a concern. And that's why I think South Africa have not helped themselves. Remember, slow over rate points will be deducted from the World Test Championship.
It's not just fines anymore.
Remember, England and Australia played out a 2-2 draw. Technically, they should be on how many points? They should be on 16 points. But what happened? No, they see 12-12, 24-24 and 4-4. So 32 each. But because England were 10 overs behind, 10 points deducted. Australia 9 overs behind, 9 points deducted. Pakistan 2 overs behind, 2 points deducted. So over rates. Somewhere down the line, India will be wondering, thank God, we have at least got one spinner. We can race through the overs. South Africa may not be so lucky then. So, let's just see what are the comments. Akash Bharadwaj, a trick question. Pant comes, who Iyer is the first one to go out, not KL?
No, but I think KL right now is being considered as a wicket keeper bat, which means he's competing with Pant. So, unless KL does something fantabulous.
And let me be honest, after that accident, I have serious concerns over Pant coming back. Honestly, I do, because see, you've had multiple knee surgeries.
He's had 2 major surgeries and of course a very long rehab. A rehab that's gone into like 8-9 months now, given that the injury happened.
A year.
30th was this thing. I'm just saying, of course, because the surgeries happened later, so you looked at 9-10 months of rehab.
Because it will then be, we'll have to see how he does in the IPL. Can he keep regularly?
Exactly.
Can he do this?
You get, I think, Akash, you get a lot of these answers in the IPL. During the course of the IPL, the picture becomes clear, because if he's not keeping the wickets for the Delhi Capitals, he's not coming back into the Indian side.
That's the thing. And I have serious concerns whether we'll see the same Rishabh Pant back. Because remember, optics aside, let us forget optics. You have to look at game preparedness. You can't immediately rush him back into a test match. I'm sorry. If you do that, you are hurting Rishabh Pant even more. Then Otto was saying, Varane has a match-winning 100 that he scored against New Zealand in New Zealand. Agree, yes, it had Hagley Oval. He did score that brilliant 100. South Africa came back 1-1. Naman Kanpal, watching SA in test since 2006. New tour, same story, poor outing. But Naman, if you have to look at 2006, in Johannesburg, where there was a big problem in that sense, okay, India made 250, South Africa got bowled out for 84. The Indian pacers are always giving you a lot of concessions, and that's why I don't see, if India make 200, 240, let us ensure that, that India's bowlers again step up. So let's see. Then okay, there's one
Neela
more.
Kannan says that I think
Again, Hanuma Vihari.
Hanuma Vihari, but again he's the perfect replacement for Pujara. But again,
What wrong did Hanuma do to get dropped
it will
anyways?
remain a mystery.
Yeah, there was one thing which is there. Okay, so this is a one thing. If South Africa can bowl India out for under 70 overs, I read somewhere. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, we didn't have that in mind. If South Africa bowl India out for under 70 overs, you don't get a penalty, even though you're taken so much of time.
Okay.
That's why. If you bowl India out for under 70 overs, thanks for whoever pointed that out. Yes, you don't get a penalty then.
It has to go to 90 overs.
Yeah, exactly. In 2006, remember bowler named Andre Nell?
Of
Who
course.
doesn't remember Andre Nell, my friends?
The entertainer.
The entertainer. I felt that he sometimes used to cross the line.
Sometimes.
Almost all the time. Yeah. And then he was the one who sledged Srishant. Who sledged Srishant?
And got it back.
And got it back.
And got it back from 10.
And he never recovered from that.
Yeah.
He never did. So, Arvind Mohan, why Virat Kohli gets out many times after a session break? Is this a concentration problem?
That's a problem. That's when you're most susceptible. That's not just
It's
Kohli, by the way.
Exactly.
And Arvind, he got a great ball here.
Yeah.
Even if you are settled for 150 balls, you get that kind of a delivery, you will edge it. Can't help it. It was a peach of a delivery from Kohli, from Rabada. So now the sun is out, but at the far end, you're seeing dark clouds. Lights are on, and many people are stating 96% chances of rain after 5 p.m. there, which is 8:30.
8:30.
It could happen.
Let's see.
If that happens, then we're in for a curtailed session.
We are in for a curtailed session, and I don't know then how quickly will it start, what are the revised playing conditions.
We'll get to know
we
that
all
soon
don't know
enough.
that. So join us for the final session in a short while, or if India get bowled out, we'll be there for the mid innings.
You already called the rain then.
For the India innings, if it gets over. So let's see. Hope KL does well, gets India to 240. Because that's a psychological total. Bye-bye.